Hello, my name is Paul Priestley. Welcome to Paul Priestley Art. Now, today I'm going to do a video where I'm just going to give you 10 characteristics or traits that make an artist. Because I get a lot of people who contact me through this channel who produce some wonderful drawings, most of which be copied, say, from photographs or something like that. But these people have obviously got a great deal of ability. And they ask questions like, I want to make my drawing and painting perfect. It's got to be perfect. I've got to have the right materials. I've got to have this. I've got to have that. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. There's much more to it than that. So I want to go through 10 points that I think are significant. You may well think there are others as well, and please put them in the in the details below. Answer me, that'd be brilliant. But these are my 10 points. So number one, yes, copying is part of becoming an artist. All artists have copied things in the past, particularly when you're learning. You learn techniques and ways to do things and such like through copying. But there comes a point when you have to move away from that, when you have to start drawing things from life, from your imagination. And that leads me on to point number 2, which is uniqueness. What have you got to say? What unique insight into the world have you got to offer? That's what an artist needs to do. He needs to be able to offer something which is unique. Yes, you can have all the great drawing ability in the world, but the problem is that a lot of people have got fantastic drawing ability, but they haven't got anything unique to say, and therefore never become really great artists. And if you want to become a really great artist, you've got to have something which is unique and special about you. If you think of Van Gogh and the way he drew, his drawings weren't photographically realistic, but they have a character about them. They have something special about them which communicates something about the human condition. That is where his greatness lies. So uniqueness is an interesting value. The other third one is focus. When I was at art college, one of the tutors said to me, if you want to be a great artist, don't get married, don't have children, don't get a mortgage, focus. And in some ways he's right, but we can't all exist not getting married, not having children, not having mortgages and so on. We've got to live in the real world. But what he's saying is true. You know, your art is the thing that drives you. The art is the focus of your life. And that is what you need to concentrate on. Point number 4, you've got to be able to challenge convention in some form or another. Not accept the accepted rules. You'll go to art colleges or training or whatever, and you'll be given a set of ideas, ways of doing things and so on. But when you become an artist yourself, you can challenge these things. Challenging convention is an important part of being an artist. I once went to a Damien Hirst exhibition, and I saw for the first time I'd seen them was the chopped up cows in formaldehyde, sharks in formaldehyde and such like. And what was really interesting about the exhibition was everybody who came out of that exhibition had an opinion. So Hirst had achieved something. It made people think. It challenged convention. Because as far as he said, if you see a cow in a field, it's basically just a walking beef burger. If we're allowed to chop it up and make it into beef burgers, why can't we chop it up and make it into art? You see what he was saying? He's making us think. He's challenging the convention. And that is important. Number 5, I think you've got to trust in your own convictions. You've got to be able to think differently. And when you do think differently and produce a piece of work which is different, you've got to have the convictions to be able to support that. And that reminds me of a story I once read of Andy Warhol when he was 15 years old, schoolboy. His school entered him for a school's exhibition in Pittsburgh in the United States. And this exhibition was about, the theme of the exhibition was railways, and lots of schools entered pupils for this exhibition. So you can imagine the final exhibition had lots and lots of paintings and drawings of people getting on and off trains travelling, doors open, stations, etc., etc. Andy Warhol, what he did was he simply put a large sheet of paper on the floor. He dropped a can of red paint onto it, which splattered all over it, and entered it into the exhibition under the title Train Crash. Guess who won the exhibition? Because he had stuck to his own convictions and he'd also done something which was different. And that's important. Number 6, never finish learning. It's really important you never finish learning. And what I mean by that is that carry a sketchbook with you everywhere. Record everything, observe everything, listen to conversations, because all of this is vital for your upbringing as an artist. Remember words, remember phrases, remember things you've seen, draw things, look at things from unusual angles, put unusual things together, come up with ideas. Don't go in with fixed ideas of what you're going to do. Sketch all the time, because through that it will build up your own visual vocabulary and it will create in you a sense of looking and development, and this is what you want to be able to do. Number 7, never be satisfied. And for this, I'm just going to give you a quote. Some years ago, somebody interviewed David Hockney, the great British artist. Now, he's been painting since the 1950s. He's now approaching, well, I think he's now in his 80s. And the interviewer said to him, "What is the greatest painting you've ever produced?" And David Hockney simply said, "The next one." And that just sums it up. Number 8, you've got to make people think, feel, reconsider, challenge their views. This is what your art should be doing. Give them a different feel of something. Make them think in a different way. Don't just give them a nice pretty picture which is technically brilliant. Okay, there's lots of technically brilliant pieces around. So what? You've got to have more than that. You've got to make people think, feel, reconsider, challenge their perceptions. That's what the role of art is all about. And all the great artists do it. You know, they all make you think and consider. Remember that Damien Hirst exhibition? Makes you think, challenges your views. Number 9, determination. You've got to have determination, because let's face it, as an artist, unless you reach the levels of the Damien Hirsts and the David Hockneys and such like, you're going to have a lack of funds. You're going to be criticised. People are going to say your work is rubbish. You're going to have a lack of success. But you're not going to give up, because that's not what you do as an artist. You're going to continue and you're going to work and you're going to prove them wrong. And it might take you a lifetime to do it, but you will do it. So you've got to have that determination. That is important. Finally, the last point. Don't ever consider retiring, because for an artist, retirement doesn't exist. This is a job for life. It's the best job in the world, and you have got it. So make the most of it. Don't retire. Okay, well, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed that. And if you've got any further comments, please add them to the comments below. If you want to buy me a coffee, you can do so by clicking the little thanks button below the video here. That would be much appreciated. But what we'll do now is I'll sign off, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. So from me to you, goodbye.